In this video, I will show you how to optimize a deep takeover trading system for MetaTrader 4. Assuming you have it installed from the market, you'll find it in two places, the Navigator and the Strategy Tester. We're going to be using the Strategy Tester today. You do you click that or type Control R to toggle it. Next, make sure that Expert Advisor is selected here, not Indicator. Select your robot from the market. It'll be in here somewhere. For me, it's this one. Then select the symbol that you'd like to trade from this drop-down menu. And the modeling quality can be open prices only. The reason why is that the robot only buys or sells at the beginning of a new candle. For robots or trading systems that look at every price change, you'll definitely have to use every tick at best. And let me warn you, in MetaTrader 4, that testing is terrible. In MetaTrader 5, you can run every tick based on real ticks. And there's also extensions for MetaTrader 4, third-party people that will give you a way to test every single tick as well. I do all my testing, my every tick testing on MetaTrader 5 because it's more reliable and faster. So here we are. Make sure use date is selected. I am testing over the last 2 years from August 1st of 2018 to 2020. I have the spread for euro dollar pretty low. This is 1 pip or 10 points, the spread of 10. Let's make sure that you can test any time frame you want. I'm going to do H1 because it's just going to be faster for this video. Visual mode will show you how trading looks on a chart. After the test is done, a window will open up here where you can see the trades and examine for yourself how the robot works. Next, go to Expert Properties. Your testing environment, set that up. For me, I'm testing at $10,000 initial starting balance. Allowing long and short positions, a US dollar base currency. The optimized parameter is balance here. If you look, you've got profit factor, expected payoff, maximal drawdown percent, and custom. I personally prefer MetaTrader 5 because it has an option to filter its optimization results by the recovery factor. And recovery factor, as long as there's a decent number of trades, I will use the highest recovery factor with whatever amount of trades that I feel like is good for on average a year. Don't select genetic algorithm. Some robots you need to when there's like millions of settings to test. This will hone in on some settings that might be really good, but it gives a dishonest view of bad trading systems because it'll make you think that the trading system's good when overall it's not. When you do a complete algorithm based on some ranges, like these ranges right here, these start, step, stop value ranges, when you do a full complete algorithm testing low and high extremes on the inputs, you get a better view of the system's adaptability and show its underfittedness or overfittedness. If it only works on a couple settings and you know 90% of them fail, it's probably a bad system. Okay, so these are the optimizable inputs. Optimizable externs, I say right here. F, P, and A. The suggested start, step, and stop values are right next to the variable name. So just copy those over here under the start, step, stop columns right here. Copy those in. For you, when you first install it, they won't be entered in. So you'll have to enter those 9 values in manually. Okay? And don't need any of these check marks. We don't want to filter anything. We want the most honest view of the system as possible. So what are start, step, stop values? So these values here, under value, these 3 values, those are the ones that are going to be tested on a single test, right? If we're doing an optimization, this is ignored, and they're going to test every possible value in these ranges, separated by step sizes like this. So it'll test from 3 to 9, separated by 1. So it'll test 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And for 50, 50, 350, it'll test 50, 100, 150, all the way up to 350. That's 7 options, and 3, 3, all the way up to 21. So it's 7 times 7 times 7 is 343 possible settings. If you have a lot of time, you want to go to sleep, you can change the step sizes to something smaller and end up with millions of possible settings, and you'll see, generally speaking, that the system is really good anyway, on the entire range, right? For most symbols. So I like to keep it about 343 to give a nice sample of millions of possible settings. Right? This is as efficient and as honest of a system as I can make. So we're going to click OK. Make sure that the optimization checkmark is checked, and make sure that these 3 checkboxes are checked. You'll notice if optimization is turned off, these, well, okay, in MetaTrader 5 it's different, but in MetaTrader 4, if the optimization is off, these checkmarks don't matter. It won't test all these, it'll only test these on one test. So with optimization on over the 2-year backtest period, we're going to test 343 right now. Here they are. Some of the results are already coming in. This optimization graph is, I call it the dot graph. If you hover over a dot, it shows you what that setting was. But it's more efficient to just go here, sort by profit, and as soon as this optimization is over, I'll show you what to do with that. So the starting balance was 10,000. That line is right under here, a little bit lower than this gray line. So we've got maybe 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, 5. So we have up to 5 losers so far, maybe 6, and mostly winners. No account blowouts. So I want to give a robot a trading system where, given totally random settings, you have a high likelihood of success. Now, this is unheard of in most trading systems. Most trading systems just cannot do this. They are overfitted to a particular price behavior. And trust me, no matter what robot you're using, the best settings one year are not going to be the best settings another year. They never are. But still, if you choose the best settings, then they're still likely to continue working. Like if I tested this for 2 years and you get a result, so like this high result, then it's likely that it'll probably keep working for another year. It just won't be as profitable as whatever the best are, but you can't predict the future. So don't get hung up on that. Look at the graph and realize that the true potential is closer to the average of these dots. And this is some casual trading. I want to explain one more thing. For me, I am using what I call an easing in and out method. So I ease into and out of positions like this. The minimum, the lot size for every trade is 1/10 of a lot, and the maximum lot size is 1, because I will trade up to 10 times in the same direction, right? And so this easing in and out actually takes this dot graph and brings it up a bit. If it were only 1 trade at a time, and 10 times if it was a full lot size per trade, and only 1 trade at a time, then a lot of these dots would actually be in a drawdown or in a loss. But you could still find good settings that way on a lot of symbols. So you can, if you have only like $50 or $100, you can trade 0.01 lot sizes and find good settings that way, by changing this to whatever you want. Like you have a small account, 0.01, and change this to 1. And that means there'll only be 1 trade open at a time. And there are good symbols for this kind of trading, but you should find them yourself. All right? And I'm just showing you how to do it fast. Okay, now notice, one more thing. Notice these numbers here, 50, 100, and 6, okay? Here, the top result, the numbers are 3, 50, and 6. And they show up right there, 3, 50, and 6. So once you've double-clicked on a result that you like, it unchecks this optimization box and inputs them here for a single test. So now when I press start and you look at the graph, there you go. That's the euro dollar best result so far. Okay. If I do it on the next one, that's 9, 50, and 3. Double click on that. And they show up right here, 9, 50, and 3 under these values. So let's look at that one. And I want to show you that the graph looks almost identical when you go to every tick mode. Every tick mode takes a lot longer to test. And if you have the optimization check mark, it's really long. So it's a waste of time to do it this way. But you can check every tick on your favorite settings just to see how they turned out. And when you you'll notice it's a lot slower, and it has to collect the minute 1 candle bars, and then it automatically generates price movements within those 1 minute bars, which can be dangerous because some robots actually take advantage of the way that the minute 1 bar prices inside are generated and can show you millions and billions of profit in like a year. And I accidentally did that with my first trading robot almost 10 years ago and could turn $100 into more than $1 billion in 2 years. But it wasn't real. And look, so it's pretty much identical. It's the same graph as before. So that's why we can use open prices only for all of our testing with Deep Takeover. This is a highly convenient feature. There's other robots out there where it'll take, what was it? The other day I was testing somebody else's robot. It would have taken more than an hour and a half for one every tick test to finish. And those on MetaTrader 5, I was testing every tick based on real ticks, and the results were not that good. They were good when they were on every tick, but not every tick based on real ticks. So I knew before that test even finished that it was a deceptive robot, and the fact that people have been buying it makes me really sad for them. Okay, so that's about it. Let's just do one more for fun. Let's do Euro Swiss franc, and I just want to show you that even if the spread is really high, you can still get great results. So this is a spread of 100. That's 10 pips or 100 points. Click optimization checkmark and do it to it. This doesn't work as well on really small time frames because if you have like a minute 1 candle bar and a spread of 100, there are a lot of candles that are smaller than 100, so there's not as many ranges of profitability. Now the robot will only sell when the bid price is above its target and only buy when the ask price is below its target. And so the profitability the trading is still consistent. You're not going to see an in and out where you didn't make the kind of profit you wanted. However, there'll be fewer trading opportunities because the ask price just couldn't get below that target, or the bid price just couldn't get above some target. But let's go ahead and look at this optimization graph. The $10,000 mark is way down here, and every single setting actually is still in profit. So you take the average of all these dots and say that's the expected profitability over the last 2 years. Almost to 343. There we go. And remember, you can sort by profit, and you can look over here and make sure the drawdown is acceptable for you. If you don't like the drawdown, you can use a higher account balance, a smaller lot size, trade on a higher time frame, whatever you want. Play around with it, find what works for you. I'm going to click on this. Oh, the lot size. Oh, oops. Wait, hold on. What did we do? Oh, that's the profit. Okay, I thought that was the balance and I thought profit was only 526. Okay, so this is more than 100% profit right here. Double click on it, it populates, gets rid of the optimization checkbox. Those values are now here. Do a single test. Check the graph. Good. Now a couple other things. You can also check the reports and see, things like consecutive win, consecutive losses. This red line up here is the modeling quality. Ticks modeled would be individual price changes, like this price over here is going up and down. We don't need that. We only trade at the beginning of the new bar. So this is pretty much 100% accurate for this kind of trading system. All right. And anything else? That's pretty good. Yeah, I would trade that. I would trade that setting in real life. And 123 trades in 2 years is a little more than a trade a week. Okay, I think that's pretty consistent. Some pretty good consistent trading. It's definitely for patient traders. If you want to increase the trading frequency, go all the way down to M5. Okay, now for MetaTrader 4, I think the screenshots that I record are on M15 and hour 1. I get bored during M15 because it's 4 times slower than hour 1. And then M5 is going to be 12 times slower than hour 1. And then hour 4 will be 4 times faster. Let's take a look at that speed. Now the profitability between the time frames isn't that much different. It's a little bit less profitable per level up in time frame. A little bit less than the maximum potential of the lower time frames typically. Now in the hour 4 time frame, you can see that the trading frequency was a lot less, and now there's actually some losers. So there wasn't as many chances to trade against or to there wasn't as much price overlap. So this might be one where a minute 15 candle might be a lot more profitable. But generally speaking, the highest profit potential isn't too much worse on a higher time frame, usually. All right, let's just do one more for fun. Let's do the euro pound, because that's also pretty popular. Let's do M30, try a different time frame. Let's bring that spread down to, oh, never mind. All right, let's see, on Euro GBP, I think probably a spread of 30 might be reasonable. 30 points or 3 pips might be reasonable. It might be less on some brokers, might be more on others. I don't really pay attention to that because I don't trade my systems to care too much about the spread. Remember, the $10,000 line is right down here. We've got one guy below it, maybe 2. And if you hover over, I think I said this before, if you hover over a dot, it tells you what those settings are. And what that exact result is. 22336, 22,336. So that made a 12,336 profit. That's the M30, should be twice as long to test as the hour one. And you will find good settings even on the minute one. But what you should do is take the optimizable parameters and just spread them out bigger. Like, just make the ending values for the start, step, stop values, make the stop values just a lot bigger. You know, just to see. I haven't changed these values myself for this particular system. I did try it on other systems, and you know, you can find a lot of other good values. Now F, I'll wait till it's done. Well, because I can't click on it. I can't click on expert properties right now while the test is running. Well, you can remember that the 3 inputs were F, P, and A. For the F setting, if you want less frequent trading, the F setting will be higher. If you want more frequent trading, the F will be lower. You can experiment with F lower than 3 and go 2 and 1. Or higher and go 10, 11, 12, maybe up to 100. Just see that it might get one trade at F equals 100. That's just a guess. For P and A, those are linked in some way to the indicators, the ADX and ATR indicators that I'm using. And you can actually really play around with those. You can really play around with those. Like you could have these go from like 3 to 300 on both of them, 3 to 300 and 3 to 300, or 3 to 10,000 and 3 to 10,000 if you want. And then, you know, when you have so many inputs, then it might be smart to do this genetic algorithm where it'll take like a million possible settings and bring it down to down to 10,000. It'll hone in on the best ones that way. So let's take a look at that last euro pound optimization graph. Pretty darn good across the board. I don't think you'll find another robot that can do this. I really don't. If you do find one, find me on MQL5, send me a message and show me. I've been looking for a long time, for like almost 10 years, and I've just never seen anything this underfitted. Underfitted is far more powerful than overfitted. Overfitted is going to crash and burn. Underfitted will adapt better. Nothing is foolproof. Everything can be broken. This one just has a much less likelihood of breaking. All right. Finally, one more time, let's go every tick and choose the best settings. 13315 profit. It's going to be slightly different in the every tick because of whatever happened on the last candles. Oh, it's not responding. Okay, now it's responding. And it's going to be collecting the minute 1 bars. I've already talked about that. Let's look at the graph, get ready for action. That green line is the equity line. That would be the value of the trades on top of the value of the remaining balance. In times of stronger equity drawdown, the recovery is usually faster afterwards. Like this, there's probably going to be a big boom upwards. Yep. Now, it doesn't use a fixed stop loss or take profit. The reason why is that the regularity of the oscillators is so frequent that in 99.99% of the cases, having a stop loss would make this an actual fixed stop loss that the broker could see would make this a lot less reliable. So this is flexible. It's like taking alternating current and attempting to make it as direct as possible. I don't know. That's an analogy I just made up. I don't know if it's a very good analogy, but okay. So hopefully that's it. Remember, expert advisor, do a date for fast testing. Open prices only. Optimization is checked. Period is reasonable. Make sure your testing is set up. Testing parameters are set up. All of that. Now, when you find settings that you like, go to inputs. If you like these settings, you just press save and it'll save these 3 settings as a set file that you can then load on the robot later. So after you drag this guy over and click allow live trading, you can load specific settings. These are for other robots. I didn't save any for this one, not in this folder. It'll load the settings right here and you can use them. If you ever change settings on the same symbol, you should also change the magic number. Alright, and that's about it. I hope you found this video useful. I hope you learned a little bit about what to look for and what not to look for when using an automated trading system as well. I just want to show you that these types of results are not doctored. I can't doctor these types of results. There are tons of people online, because MetaTrader 4 has some vulnerabilities. There are ways to trick the historical data in the History Center, I believe. These databases can be edited, or somebody's system can maybe manually look for certain prices. And so there's a lot of trickery out there. This is not the best platform for integrity, for people of high integrity like me. I'm showing you every possible setting on multiple symbols and multiple time frames, and none of the results are doctored, right? So keep a lookout for that. When you see somebody that just shows a graph and that graph goes into the millions or billions, don't buy it. Now, if you have a lot of faith and want to believe that that's possible, you can be naive, like thousands of us were, and go lose your money. And when you realize that all of that stuff is bullshit, come back here and use a real system. A broker's not going to look at your trading and think that you're a threat here, right? They're not going to. I mean, this is a reasonable growth amount over a year or two. Over 2 years. This is a reasonable growth amount. You're not going to be targeted. They're not going to start blocking your trades. Okay, I made a arbitrage system, a triangular arbitrage system before that looked at 3 different symbols at a time. And if you could make a synthetic symbol with 2 symbols and trade it against a real symbol, you can make a lot of money, and I could make $700 in one night, but then you get flagged for making money too fast, and they'll start blocking your trades, things like that. So this is a nice, calm, smooth, consistent 1 or 2 or 3 trades a week at the hour 1 level. You're not going to get flagged for this. You're going to be under the radar. You're going to be making money a lot slower than the broker itself makes money. And that's about it. If you found this video useful, please share it with somebody that you care about who also wants to automatically trade and basically have a money-making machine. I cannot guarantee profit. One, it's illegal, and 2, it's immoral, because every material has a frequency that can break it. And I might do another video where I show you exactly what that is. So, okay, that's enough for now. Hope you like it. This was Deep Takeover MetaTrader 4. This respects the FIFO, first in, first out version of trading. You now know how to optimize and find set files and save set files and load set files that you'd want for your own trading. And when you do load set files on a chart, make sure that the time frame that you tested on matches the time frame of the chart. Otherwise, it's not like it'll be bad, because there's a good chance that it'll just happen to work as well, because it's an underfitted system, but it won't be as optimal as it would be if you use the same time frame. Okay, for the last time, that's it for now, folks. Happy trading, and I wish you many returns.